Alright, so today I'm going to look at the Well R6 airsoft gun. This is the box that it comes in. It's a black box, pretty generic. Open it up. See the instruction manual. It's full of English. I will show you a pretty funny paragraph in it a bit later. And this is basically what you're going to see when you get the gun. You have the actual gun itself, without the stock attached. And then you have a high cap magazine. I think this is around 300 rounds. Then you have an adjustable stock. You just push that and it's adjustable. I think there are 3, maybe 4 different lengths you can adjust it to. And that attaches just right on the back. You just slide it on as so, and it's just adjustable, and it'll stay on there once you get it on there. And to release it, there's a little switch right here. You just push the switch back and it slides right off. I watched another review that said that this thing just slid right off without a switch. He was wrong. There's a switch. It does stay on there securely. It's not going to pop off if you're running or something, and it feels pretty solid. Most reviews focus on looking at the gun and not actually shooting the gun. I think that is backwards. So I'm just going to do a really quick glance at the gun, and then I'll start shooting it because that's what you guys really care about. It has an adjustable sight right there. It's got a vertical adjustment right here in this nozzle. Then a little knob right there for windage. You have these 2 little screws. They're just thumb screws. You just undo those. Sight comes off. Standard mounting rail. Alright, here's the body of it. Just says Well MBR6. Here's the switch: safe, semi, and auto. Has a pretty nice click to it, and that's where you put the magazine. The battery just fits right in this slot. You can probably see it right up top. And to adjust the hop up, you pull this little lever back, and that comes open. This little door. It's pretty fun to play with, but it's completely useless. And with that, you can see the hop-up mechanism in there. You just turn this little thing, the little circle in there, a little bit, just barely, and then it'll adjust the hop-up. And I recommend that's one of the first things you do when you get the gun. Get that all tuned up. Oh, and this thing just slides in and out. This little metal rod. And when I actually got the gun, the metal rod was popped out, and the spring wasn't in the right spot. But that's no big deal because it it's easily fixable. The magazine just snaps right in, and then there's actually a little button right there. You just push on it, it comes right out. Standard stuff. It's all plastic. I think the trigger is metal. This is metal. I think the inside part of the stock might be metal, but that's about it. And the significant thing about this gun is that it is the first cheap mid-power electric gun that has an all-metal gearbox. And I'm going to show you some of the accessories that come with it, and then we'll get to shooting. So here's the battery that comes with it. As you can see, it is 8.4 volts, 1100 mAh. It is a 7-cell, 2/3 C cells. Pretty standard battery. It has a mini Tamiya connector. It actually came with a charger, but anyone who knows anything about batteries will tell you that the chargers that come with the guns are not good and will probably kill your battery over time. So I had this Peak charger that I used to charge my batteries for my remote control truck. I just cut the end off of the included wall charger, made an adapter, pretty simple. And according to this, it actually takes a little bit more than the 1100 mAh rating, which is always a good thing. It came with this strap. I've used it. Seems pretty good. Nothing fancy. Barrel cleaning rod. 5,000 rounds. 0.2 grams. The gun does shoot 0.12 grams, but I found that it's completely inaccurate, and the gun is just absolutely useless with 0.12 gram BBs. And here's the manual. I would recommend reading the manual. It is English, but you can still understand the basic gist of what it's saying, and it has pictures. When feel the hand feeling aggravate, while erupting to make a noise the sound, then stop turn to move the wheel gear can shoot. Your guess is as good as mine.
The first section is just me shooting a cardboard target with my gun from about 65 feet away. I do semi-automatic at first and full automatic later. Some things to notice are how loud the gun is. All times I was pointing the gun directly at the center of the target, so that lets you know about how accurate it is. It may seem that it's not that accurate, but it is zoomed in from 65 feet away, and the gun is actually fairly accurate. Once in a while you see the gun fire 2 BBs at once, and this is misfiring, and it does this sometimes. The second shot is just of me shooting a can from the same distance, and believe it or not, hitting a little soda can from that far away can be fairly difficult. This section is a comparison of my Well R6 to a UTG Warhawk AK-47. The targets are exactly 50 feet away, and at the end of this segment I used the video and sound recording and calculated the time it took to travel 50 feet and figured an approximate feet per second rating for each gun.
That's sweet. Oh, you can see the bullets hitting it.
Yeah. Oh wow, that one didn't want to fall over.
As you can see, on full auto, the Well R6 is pretty inaccurate, and the UTG Warhawk is much more accurate. These are the results I got for my speed rating. Now before you go crying that your gun says it can shoot 300 feet per second and here it only says 130, let me explain myself. The 300 feet per second that you see on most websites is the muzzle velocity, or the speed of the BB right after it leaves the muzzle of the gun. My speed was based on the time it took to travel 50 feet, and is a much more accurate rating. And a lot of times you'll find that airsoft manufacturers just flat out lie about the muzzle velocity of their guns. For example, the Well R6 says it shoots 370 feet per second. I know this is nowhere near the truth. However, the UTG shotgun that I tested has been chronoed at around 298, so it is spot on. When we tested these guns, the battery for the UTG AK-47 was nearly dead, so with a freshly charged battery, I wouldn't be surprised if the feet per second rating went up another 10 feet per second and was competitive with and even surpassed the feet per second rating of the Well R6. The Well R6 is a good value for the money. Some of the things I liked about the gun were its very fast rate of fire, it was fairly accurate, it has an all-metal gearbox, comes with one high-capacity magazine, and I got mine for about $65 plus $10 shipping off of airsplat.com. However, some of the things I didn't like about the gun is the fact that it misfires, and quite often sometimes. The build quality is just average, there's only one or two metal parts on it. The accuracy is lacking at times, especially in automatic mode. The gun's just flat out loud, and it actually has a good amount of recoil. Nowhere near a real gun, but much more than the AK-47 that we compared it to, and that recoil can make it hard sometimes when you're shooting fully automatic. If you're a beginner to airsoft or are looking for a good second gun, I recommend the Well R6. If you have a bit more money and are looking for a better performing gun, I would definitely check out some more expensive AEGs because they're going to give you much better performance. Overall, well R6, good performing gun, good price.